Welcome one and all to another one of our holiday hotspots inspiration shows from the team here at CruiseAway. Now, every day here on Gecko, we're full of the most fascinating trips worldwide put together by our talented team of travel experts using their 25-year plus knowledge of holiday planning.
Yes, and we get the best job in the world as we deliver you the exciting packages. All you need to do is remember to call one of the team and we'll do all the arranging for you. And more importantly, offer you the best dollar-to-dollar value in the business.
Absolutely right. Enough talk, more holiday. We're taking exciting European adventures this time, and we're taking the Carnival Miracle trip to Iceland. And we're also going to be taking you to the glamorous edge around Spain and Portugal on the new Celebrity Apex, and enjoying the very finest, and I mean the very finest, Oceania Vista across France and Spain in the very best ultra luxury style. Our first 18-night dream away though starts on the 15th of May, which is not long away at all, and we're going to fly first from Sydney over to London in the UK for an exciting capital city stay for 4 nights in a hotel. What a wonderful city to see at this time of the year as well. In May.
Wow, London just doesn't stop. There's just something to see for everyone's taste, everyone's lifestyle, everyone's point of interest, whether it's history, and boy, is there some of the best history in the world to visit in London, or if you love to shop, if you love to go to galleries, which are so many for free as well in London. That's the great thing about it. You've the National Portrait Gallery, you've got the Tate Modern, you've got the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Natural History Museum. It's incredible, really. It's awash with culture. You've got to go and see those famous sites as well, such as Big Ben, the Tower of London, Buckingham Palace, wander along the Thames and just enjoy. Then it's time for us to cruise on board the fantastic Carnival Miracle. You're going to be sailing out of Dover, the White Cliffs of course, and you're going to be on board for 12 nights as well on this lovely late spring adventure, early summer adventure. It's unusual to see Carnival in the UK period. So these are the fun ships. They are not just fun ships by name, they're fun ships by nature. The thing about Carnival, it's called Carnival for a reason. It's about the Carnival atmosphere, which is quite literally infectious when you get on board. You will feel like it's not just, we must have fun. You will have fun. It's impossible not to. There's always something going along around the deck. It's just kind of full of lots of different music, lots of different games and activities. The cruise staff team is always out there as well, getting you involved in something if that's your particular point of interest. And if you do like to be the life and soul of the party. The sailaways on Carnival, I have to say, are legendary as well. Again, they'll have all the dance cast up there dancing away with the live band and conga line and you name it, hokey cokey. You've got something to be getting involved in all the time on Carnival, but equally, if you want to just sit back and relax, there's loads of places around the ship you can do that too. And of course there's the hot tubs, there's the pools, there's the water park too, for kids, which is great. The shows on board Carnival, they have the punchliners, which is for your live comedy and things like that, but they also have their Vegas style shows in the theatre. Yeah, think Copacabana, kind of Rio meets Vegas. That's what you'll get from some of these really fun and vibrant shows. They do like to get lots of audience interacting as well, so don't be surprised if you're asked up on stage, if that's again your kind of thing. You might be hypnotized, who knows. Or maybe you're going to be part of the love and marriage game show. That's a very interesting one to play, that's for sure.
They're all good fun, and actually, do you know what, even if you are not quite as gregarious and you're joining in all of these congas and things that are happening, to watch other people doing it is just as fascinating. It's great people watching cruise on board with Carnival, and you just have a smile on your face the whole time. Yeah. There is just this infectious positivity right the way around the ship. The other thing you'll notice as well is every time you move from one bar to another lounge to another restaurant, everything feels very different. Everything has its own theme, its feel, its vibe as well. And that's great for a cruise ship because it
is.
It's like having multiple holidays all in one.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And it's very interesting that the way that they actually characterise each different venue. And I think that makes it part of the fun. Right, let's see where we're off to then. We're cruising out of Dover and we're heading straight into gorgeous Belfast, Northern Ireland, one of the friendliest cities I've ever been to. Giant's Causeway, you'll see lots of very imposing, incredible views over the coast of Northern Ireland. You might want to head to Belfast Castle or see the Titanic exhibit. It's the last place it stopped. Then we're in Iceland. First up, it's Seyðisfjörður. Now, this boasts a wealth of well-preserved 19th century homes. It's your gateway to the wild and isolated scenery of the eastern fjords as well. And of course, home of the Vikings. You can learn all about the history. Akureyri's next for Godafoss waterfall. Some great whale watching there. Iceland is geothermal, so you've got these amazing hot springs and lagoons and these kind of almost lunar landscapes to visit. And I tell you what, you're going to love it. We're next up into Grundarfjörður, where you can travel in and learn about the heroic past of Iceland, see some of the maybe little settlements, older settlements on the island as well to enjoy. There's a shark farm there, which is very interesting to visit. Reykjavik, the capital, awaits us next, famous for its Blue Lagoon. If you could do a trip there, I really enjoyed mine. The geothermal field is also interesting to see. They film a lot of movies here and you can see why. It looks like the lunar landscape. Next up, we're into the seldom visited port on itineraries, Jaime, which is full of natural beauty, you know, and wildlife. You're going to see some really interesting things here that you might not see in other parts of the world. And they're known for their beluga whales too. You can go to a sanctuary. Into the Orkneys next, gorgeous Orkney Islands, Kirkwall, where you can go and see and learn about the puffins, which come ashore to breed during the summer months of May to July, and do a little excursion maybe to learn about that, or visit a famous castle. We're back in Dover, where we will fly you back to Sydney after this really unique itinerary, taking in London, then over to Belfast before you enjoy some of the wonders of the land of fire and ice and the Vikings. And then we're finishing up in Dover before you head home to Sydney.
And it's such a popular part of the world to go and cruise right now. It seems that every other cruise is heading up this way right now. It's a really popular area. I guess maybe partly because actually Iceland's in the news all the time. You'll notice that it pops up on the international news quite a lot because there's been talking of the geothermal activity there. That's a bit of an understatement. It's been going crazy up there as well, particularly near Reykjavik as well, which is super exciting, you know, where you're seeing, you know, the actual volcanoes as well, which are very active indeed. There's lots going on there, which is very exciting, I think, as a tourist, isn't it? It's a little bit like, you know, over in the States, they do that storm chasing. It's a little bit like that, isn't it? But don't worry, you're always from a very safe distance. You will be fine, but very exciting. Just adds that extra edge to a holiday like this. So a bit of a trip of a lifetime, actually, with so many exciting contrasts. And it comes up in May. It's not that far away at all. We include, of course, your flight from Sydney over to London. 4 nights there in a hotel. Great time to see London as well before it gets really busy in the summertime. You're kind of seeing it between spring and summer, which is lovely. And then you've got your 12 nights of vibrant fun cruising with Carnival on the Miracle, up to those wonderful geothermal wonders of Iceland, stopping off at Belfast in Northern Ireland as well, which is such a lovely place, and the cute little Orkney Islands of Scotland as well. And of course, at the end of the cruise, we'll include your flight back from London to Sydney. Gosh, I just got sight of the price tag. You're about to see it. Oh my word, I really did not expect to see we would be, you know, this kind of price tag. I would have expected that to be at least a couple of thousand, if not a little bit more higher per person, given the cruise line. I mean, you know, if you've ever been on board the Splendor, what a great time it is on board with Carnival, a really interesting part of the world. Of course, you're doing a bit of traveling to get over to Europe as well, but you've got that relaxing stay in London to enjoy. So there's a nice pace of this holiday as well. And for that to come in at just a nick under 5,000 is brilliant. Of course, you can split the cost of that with Travel Pay Later as well. And that means, because we're looking in such a good price right now, let's have a look at our upgrades. We might treat ourselves to an upgrade up to Ocean View, maybe up to the balcony, maybe even further. up to one of those incredible Carnival suites with so many extra perks, as well as, you know, the accommodation itself, amazing. But what an interesting trip this is, and the great thing is not far away at all. You think about it, we're knocking on next year, you know, like around the corner, aren't we? It feels this year has just gone so quickly, hasn't it? So you're not waiting, you know, 2.5 years for this holiday. It's coming up in May. And you know what they say when it comes to holiday plans, and when it comes to going off in a different direction on your holiday, seize the moment, do it now. That's such a great price tag to lock in today. Call right now. You can log in if you want to our website, cruiseaway.com.au, but give us a call now, 1300 407 687. And get that all snapped up. Wonderful opportunity. Right, okay, let's go 5-star next with a celebrity cruise package to Europe. 2 weeks of sheer bliss, starts on the 13th of July, and we are flying from Sydney over to London again, this time in the summer in the UK. Enjoy the views, the shows and the buzz in the city over 3 fabulous nights in a hotel. There's nothing like, by the way, walking up and down the banks of the Thames and seeing all of those iconic buildings, stopping off for a coffee or a glass of wine and just people watching in London is fascinating.
Yeah, seeing pubs from the 1600s and things like that. You might want to head to the Globe Theatre to actually watch some Shakespeare in the traditional way that it was done in Shakespearean times, or maybe something a little bit more modern in the West End. But London is sure to enthrall you because it's an amazing city. Then it's time to cruise on the gorgeous Celebrity Apex. You're going to be on board for 9 nights. She was launched in 2020 as the first of a new class of incredible ships by Celebrity, and these are everything you love about the brand and more. Or if you're first time cruising on Celebrity, fresh, modern, beautiful spaces, that boutique hotel vibe. You know, everywhere you go around the ship, there's lovely sculpture. Some of it's interactive. You have this ebb and flow to the actual design of the ship too, which is very dynamic. You know, the Grand Plaza, which is a lovely meeting point. They even do like a flair bartending show while you're there. The magic carpet, this is an interesting feature of this class of ship as well. It constantly moves up and down the ship. It could be a pop-up restaurant, it could be a bar, it could be a tender platform, you know, whatever, you know, they decide to actually use it as on the night. There's lots of these great dynamic spaces around the ship. I mean, the design element on the Apex is kind of mind-blowing. It's next level. It's like nothing Celebrity had ever done before, and I have to say, if anyone can pull it off, it is them, trust me. The staterooms, some of the most comfortable beds at sea, I think you'll experience when you're in your stateroom. It's almost hard to leave the stateroom.
They are so dreamy, honestly. And I've been on, or well, we've both been on many cruise ships. And you know, sometimes when you're going to an unfamiliar environment, when you're sleeping in a new bed, so to speak, you're so used to your own that it can be difficult, you know, to get a good night's sleep. And I found it was, and I know this sounds such a commercial kind of term, but I just floated away, you know, like it was just lovely. And that's because this is a 5-star ship. So actually a lot of thinking, a lot of research, a lot of testing goes into looking at the caliber of the top 5-star plus hotels around the world and taking inspiration from that and saying, okay, well, if the ship is beautiful, then it has to be a good night's sleep. Because when you stay in a hotel, it's all about the quality of the sleep, isn't it? That's why you go to a hotel. The bed and the bathroom, I always say that, has got to be absolutely perfect. Celebrity get it right on every single score. And the entertainment as well will wow you because it's just so financially backed. It's the technology there is bang up to date. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. So let's see where we're off to. Well, first up, it's La Coruña in Galicia in the north of Spain, where you can visit the famed pilgrim city of Santiago de Compostela. I'd recommend a full-day tour to get the most of that. See the grave of St. John the Baptist, where the Camino you know, finishes. Then it's Vigo. And again, this is another part of that lovely Galicia, that rich green region of Spain. They're known for their gastronomy as well, which you can do a tour of to learn all about the pinchos and tapas in this region. Lisbon. Well worth doing that for sure. We're into Leixos in Portugal next. Now, this is a gateway, well, it's Porto, so it's known for its famous port wine, which they store under the city in caskets, but you're not too far from areas such as, the north of Spain as well, whilst you're there in Portugal. So then we're into Lisbon, and Lisbon's the capital, of course, of Portugal. Known for their pastéis de nata and their incredible piri-piri chicken, which you've got to try when you're there. Maybe take a tour and enjoy the Belém Tower, the monastery. You can do it all in a day. Then it's Bilbao, up in, again, the north of Spain, which has got this incredible Guggenheim Museum, probably the most famous Guggenheim, and amazing exhibits to enjoy whilst you're there as well. We're back into Southampton. We've included your transfer to the airport after this itinerary, and you're going to have premium lounge access at London Heathrow, which is a lovely little treat before you head home to Sydney, taking the stress out of travel. But what an itinerary, an itinerary really focusing heavily on the north of Spain, which is an unforgettable area, by the way. It's so different from the rest of Spain. And then, of course, you have Portugal in there too.
And you can see one of the little yellow trams there in the picture from Lisbon, which are the most charming things to travel around. The elevadors that take you up the big hills and the trams that bump you around the city. It's brilliant. You're going to love it. Views galore on this package as well for July over 14 nights, because as well as including the flight from Sydney to London, 3 nights in a hotel there to see the iconic sights of London, 9 nights enjoying ocean views on the Celebrity Apex, because we are talking ocean view in terms of your stateroom here. As Joe says, Spain and Portugal like you've never seen it before. And then, of course, your transfer at the end of the cruise to the airport, premium lounge access at Heathrow Airport before you then fly back to Sydney. I'm going to take you straight to an amazing price tag, which would not lead your mind to a 5-star offering in ocean view. You'd think, hang on a second, that has to be so much more. That's like the difference between being in a regular room in a hotel and going up to kind of like the penthouse suite. Do you know what I mean? There's a real contrast between the two. And of course, the more you get, the more you pay. But this is amazing. And this is the value that CruiseAway can offer you, because we've packaged this together so beautifully. And there are many, many additions to this as well. Many little extras that we've factored into this for you, but without you paying more for it. And there's no booking fee. For us doing all of the arranging for you, all you need to do is call that number right there and we do all the arranging for you. It's as simple as that. We really do pick the very best deals in the business for you. Now, if you want to upgrade further from Ocean View, we'll have a look at the balcony and the suite prices, because again, both of those very, very favourable indeed. You're going to love this. But listen, if you want to go for the best deals and spend your time and your budget enjoying the destinations of which you will absolutely love, let me tell you, of course, remember, you've got 3 nights in London at a perfect time of the year to enjoy London as well. All the big West End shows are on. It's lovely weather generally in London through July, so you can enjoy all of the, the open spaces and the tourist attractions that are there as well. Call us now, 1300 407 687. Remember, it's toll free and you'll find thousands more European opportunities on our website at cruiseaway.com.au.
Wow.
Fabulous.
Some food for thought there. And now your chance to enjoy the finest cuisine at sea with Oceania Cruises on an ultra luxury food and wine tour of Europe. Oh, this sounds amazing. All part of a 19-night Dream Away package for the 30th of May. You will fly again from Sydney over to London first to enjoy the palaces and parks of the UK's glamorous capital, where you'll stay for 3 nights in a hotel. And again, being there just in the early part of summer is wonderful, because you will have every opportunity potentially to have some nice weather, and of course all the amazing parks and gardens will be coming to life. You've got Kew Gardens, you've got St James's Park, Hyde Park. Then we're into Southampton for our fabulous cruise, and this is going to be on board the Vista by Oceania, which is, this is a different level of cruising altogether. This is a Lura class, so you're talking about something here that is very, very new to the Oceania fleet as well, launched in May 2023. Slightly larger than their regular ships, which are maybe sort of 600 to 800. This is 1,200 passengers. I have personally had the pleasure of experiencing Oceania, and I have to say, for me, it was absolutely spectacular. The food is sensational. You're going to be doing, of course, a tailored cruise that is all about food and wine. So there's going to be even more of a focus on that in the ports, you know, with certain activities planned and things as well. But also when you're on board, you'll have classes with the executive chef, talking you through dishes, wine tastings, that kind of thing. But, you know, the thing about Oceania, it's not about the hustle bustle, rushing around, you know, jam-packing your schedule with activities. It's about appreciating the actual voyage rather than just the destination. It's about, you know, a really well-stocked library. It's about some great lectures that you get to enjoy on board. It's about pampering yourself. It's about knowing that whether you're going to the buffet or a sit-down meal, the food quality will be beyond compare. It will be spectacular.
Yeah, it's also about attention, and I think that's what you'll find moreover on an Oceania cruise is attention. So attention to detail, the finest cuisine at sea. Now that leads to live up to its name. So that is, you know, highly recognized chefs from around the world freshly preparing every course. It's also about attention like curated activities. You saw the artist loft earlier where you can learn to watercolour, and you can learn in small groups as well. So you have that attention from the tutors on board. You have attention when you go to a bar, for instance. You've got such a high number of crew in relation to passenger numbers that you actually will strike up a conversation with the team on board as well, find out about them and their stories. You meet the most fascinating people on these cruises. They also have guest speakers come on board and we'll talk about legend and lore of places that you're going to. Of course, there's a little bit more of a focus on food and drink on this particular itinerary because you're going to amazing wine regions. You may have the chance to actually go off shopping in some of the destinations with the executive chefs as they go and pick up fresh produce from the places that they're going to. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about a smaller number of passengers, meaning more attention lavished on you. So let's go cruising.
Yeah, we're into St. Malo first, which is known for its beautiful Chateaubriand Square and the old town, very charming. Look at the beautiful ocean there as well. Sculptured rocks you can visit. Now, of course, do speak to the team on board if you wanted to do more of a culinary excursion. Bordeaux's up next. Now, of course, the reason we're visiting Bordeaux is because of the wine region, and you definitely want to go to some of those world-famous wineries, and with some of your team on board and some of the group leaders that will be able to take you on excursions, that's going to make it even more extra special to enjoy those wines, of course. And then we're into San Sebastian, and this is this part of the north of Spain known for its gastronomy. It's a beautiful Victorian city. You've got these, I mean, just some of the most lovely architecture in Spain. It has a completely different flair. You're in the Basque region of Spain here too. Then we're into Gijon, which is, by the way, they did film Game of Thrones here. You can take a little Game of Thrones tour. Or the Cider Trail, again, just in keeping with why we're on this trip, which is all about the food and drink options in this part of the world. Next up, it's La Coruña, where you can enjoy, of course, close proximity to theCies Islands and also Santiago de Compostela, known for their mussels and seafood, this port as well. So do enjoy some of that harbour side, lovely thing to do. Bilbao, also known for its amazing seafood, but the back, sort of the old town, is known for what are called pinchos, little kind of snacks like tapas that you can enjoy, you know, from bar to bar. So again, a guided tour might be something you want to do in this port. La Rochelle, France awaits us next, where we can see some incredible architecture from the Middle Ages and maybe head to the aquarium or enjoy some of the fresh picks, vibrant cuisine picks of this region. We're into Brest, France next, known for its lovely castle, its botanical gardens. There's a great cable car which gives you an overview of this port of call as well, and the National Maritime Museum is definitely worth a visit when you're in Brest. But it's the big one next, Le Havre, the port for Paris, known for some of the best food on earth. I mean, take your pick. Gorgeous crepes, croque monsieur, croque madame, the seafood, of course, the snails, if you like that kind of thing. Then we're back into Southampton, and you are going to have a further one-night hotel stay in London before you head home, which is brilliant. So you're getting a total of 4 days in London, all told. And this will just be a perfect finish to your trip, as you maybe get some last minute shopping, some last minute photos, you know, maybe you're just going to head to Windsor Castle to see that on the last day. And then we're going to fly you back to Sydney after this amazing itinerary on gorgeous Oceania, which is really the epitome of luxury when it comes to your fine dining and enjoying everything, you know, these parts of the world have to offer. And
wonderful to get a chance to nip into Paris. Of course, it's been on everyone's mind recently with the Olympics and the Paralympics as well. So all eyes have been on it. It's always quite nice to visit a city anyway. You need no excuse to go and visit Paris or London, really, do you? It's absolutely fantastic. So enjoy Europe in total style on this luxury adventure. Included is your flight from Sydney over to London, 3 nights in a hotel there before your 12 nights in a veranda stateroom on the Oceania Vista, on a food and wine lovers cruise of France and Spain. An extra night in London in a hotel after your cruise before you then fly back to Sydney. This is 6-star, beyond 6-star. Attention. Attention is the focus on this as well. What you are investing in here is the attention, is the relaxation, is the not feeling crowded, not feeling around many people at all, feeling a little bit more like a charter and a bit less like a cruise, which is incredible. Let's have a look at as well at the inclusions and the upgrades as well. Your cruise includes all of the dining on board, which is brilliant and good to know. That high passenger and crew ratio again, so attention, 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 which is lovely. Soft drinks are included. You've got your specialty teas and coffees. You've got lots of activities on board as well. Wi-Fi is a given while you are on board. Shore shuttles as well if you need them. If you're going into a tender port, they will actually get you into the port, which is incredible. And again, I just want to say attention, 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 which is what a cruise like this is all about. And once you've taken one of these 6-star cruises, you will be back for more, let me tell you, because they are very, very intoxicating in terms of the way they kind of wrap around you and you feel very, very special. You also meet the most phenomenally fantastic people and fascinating people while you're on board one of these cruises. You know, people who've had the most exceptional careers, stories, world travels. So you're in such good company, quite aside the crew, the actual passengers on board a cruise like this. Just make it a special, unforgettable experience that can never be overstated. The quality of a holiday like this is something that we have put a price tag on, but you can't really put a price tag on.
Yeah, it is completely different, I think, from what you may have experienced before, unless you're familiar with Oceania already. And I think you'll be completely blown away by the difference. It's very exciting to have this offer on the table. And of course, we have options for you when it comes to paying for your cruise. So speak to our team, have a look on the website and get this booked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, come back and see us again because we're here every day, 3 times a day with cruise goodies. See you soon.
Bye for now.